if there was a podcast where one NFL legend talked about football? What about two NFL legends? This is Wideout's World, where the gridiron comes alive. NFL legends Irving Fryar and Michael Timpson, breaking down the game from the ultimate insider perspective. Game recaps, upcoming previews, and exclusive analysis straight from the minds of those who've been in the trenches. Wideout's World. Let's do it.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
Ready for some football, baby? What's going on?
Here we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We back in the house. I must say, listen, you all, while in my absence on vacation, Mike said Irving went on vacation. He had to go on vacation. he took a vacation. He had to take it. In my absence, you and OJ did a marvelous job, man. Y'all, that was a good show. That was a good show. I actually watched you while I was on the beach.
Well, we missed you. We missed you. So he said he's gonna come back. Yeah, and that way he'll be on with the both of us. But we miss you for sure.
Well, he's got his own stuff going on down there. He does a great job. We know he was upset. He's going to be upset some more this week. We're going to go over that game a little bit. Yeah, the Dolphins.
What's going on there?
Yeah, it's a mess. Yeah, a dumpster fire, as some would say. But this is Wideout's World. Wow, we're back. I'm Irving Fryar. This is my partner, Michael Timpson, on the other side over there. And we're here to give you a recap of week 2 in the NFL and give you our predictions on week 3. Yeah, it's Monday night, 7 p.m. If you're watching right now, come on in the room. Let me see how many people. Let me see. Let me look on my. Okay, there it is. Look on my timer there, my stream deck. Oh, we got some folk in the house. Y'all, listen. Announce yourself. Whoever's watching right now, if you're on, you're logged in. Please
if
write
you're
something
not
in
wanted,
the chat.
If you're not wanted, identify yourself. And now, if you're trying to run from the popo, that's a whole different story. So
don't say I ain't seen nothing. But yeah, write something in the comments so we know who's watching right now. We want to interact with you. So at some point during the show, we're going to give you an opportunity to. Billy Bell is in the house. Vincent Capriati's in the house. What's good, fellas? Hey, Billy Bell. We're going to give you an opportunity to ask us some questions. We want to interact with you a little bit more. We think that's important for our show. We think it's important for you and to you for supporting us. So we're going to do that at some point in the show. But thanks for logging in, and thanks for checking in and being supportive of us, Mike and I, here at WOW. Every Friday, I want to say Friday, every Monday at 7 p.m. Every Monday, yeah. So I know I got 3 or 4 podcasts. I get kind of confused sometimes, but it's all right. It's 7 p.m. So
I'm watching the kickoff, the Houston and Tampa. So they're
how you watching the game and you're supposed to be paying attention to this?
Hey, multitask. You got to be able to multitask.
Okay, multitask.
Coordinate. Multitask.
You got mushrooms inside your jacket. Coordinate. You got mushroom belt on. Got to coordinate.
I miss Pops.
Yeah, he was funny, man. That cat was funny. That movie was bang, bang, bang. That movie, he was classic. Yeah, it was classic. Richard Melton is in the house. What's going on, Richard? You already?
He hyped. He hyped.
Yeah. Well, listen. The Bills. I mean, we're going to talk about them a little bit later on, but let's just shout out the Bills right now on behalf of Richard Melton. They're a problem this year. They're going to be more of a problem this year for teams than they have been in prior years. So, and they're hungry. The Bills are just hungry. They're tired of coming up short. They're tired of, having enough. I think they've had enough in terms of talent, in terms of ability, in terms of personnel, in terms of even coaching. They've had enough over the last couple of years. They just keep falling short. But I think they're going to make, for whatever reason, I just feel as though they're going to make sure they don't fall short this year.
They're going to make a good run. They're going to make a good run.
That they're at least, I mean, who's going to stop them in the AFC? Chiefs aren't going to stop them.
No.
The Ravens are the only ones I think that have a legitimate chance of stopping the Bills. And you know, they took care of the Bills last year, but the Bills ain't having that this year. I don't think the Bills are having it. They already beat the Ravens first game of the season. Yeah. So, you know, they ain't having it. They're coming out swinging with the big bat. So, Bills in the house with Richard Melton. Listen, we want to talk about news of the week. Some news that may have come up, something that may have piqued your interest, Mike, that you that caught your eye in the NFL this year, or if you got something that's going on outside the NFL. We were talking politics a little while ago. If you want to talk politics, well, this is not what the show is about. But what's your news of the week, Mike?
So here's the thing. I was listening to ESPN with Shedeur Sanders. Now, here's the thing that's interesting about this news now. The guy Adam Schefter says that Shedeur didn't want to be a backup. The Ravens were going to draft him in the NFL draft, and news got back to him that he didn't want to play behind Lamar and be a backup. Now that kind of shocked me because I'm like, he wouldn't say that, right? But I mean, Schefter is sticking by his story, saying that that's what came out of his camp. Now, I'm surprised if he actually did in fact say that. He hasn't refuted it, and he may not want to give any wind to it. But if he did say that, that was shocking to me. Now, he didn't know where he was going to be drafted. So for him to say that, I find that real odd that he would say that I don't want to be a backup to Lamar, because he's like, well, Lamar's going to be playing for quite some time, and I'm just going to be sitting. What better place to sit and learn? So it's hard for me to believe that between his father and talking some sense that he would come out and say, I don't really believe it. That's what he said, but I don't. I just don't believe that he would say something that crazy. So.
I don't think that he's done a good job of making sure that he addresses the media properly, even when he was in college. Addressing the media properly. Obviously, he had coaching. Good coaching from his father on the field and off the field, because, Deion's a master when it comes to addressing the media and putting people in their place in a nice way and making sure he articulates what he's thinking, how he feels in a way that's not offensive to anybody, but it's very, very, very opinionated and very strong. So he's had some good coaching with that. And I would find that hard to believe that he said something like that. But because even when you watched the day of the draft and he kept falling, when you watched him, they had cameras on him wherever he was. When you watched him, he handled himself great. I thought I was more upset than him. He handled himself great. Now the Browns are talking about now. I think he's not even getting any reps. I read something this week where he's not even getting any reps in practice now. He's not even practicing with the practice squad right now. So what is the purpose, they're asking the question, what is the purpose of him being there? Are they going to trade him? Are they going to release him? Are they going to let him go somewhere else? So I don't know what their strategy is. I don't know what it is they're doing with Shedeur in terms of what they're trying to accomplish with him. But it looks like and sounds like now, like he's not even the third string quarterback.
Well, you know what? I think he is trade bait, to be honest with you. And there's always going to be people looking for quarterback. Look at Cincinnati. Joe Burrow's out now. He's going to be out 3 months or so.
Yep.
So they're looking for a quarterback. So he may very well get an opportunity to move up the chart in a sense. So we'll see. But I don't think Cleveland is looking at him long term. I think they're looking at him as though somebody's going to want him at some point. And so,
let me ask you this: we all saw a little bit of him in college, at least. If you weren't following him, you at least saw a little bit of him. If you're any kind of football fan, what do you think his chances are, or how do you think once he is given the opportunity to play, how do you think he'll do?
That's easy for me. If you got DeVito playing with the Giants and was I mean, why doesn't Shedeur have a chance? He had a shot. Yeah. I like everybody else. We watched him kind of grow and go from Jackson State to Colorado. He played well.
Right.
In spite of what was in front of him in terms of his line, he played well enough to get an opportunity to show himself. And, he has all the tools. And the thing about it is, I mean, he produced numbers. Now,
Right.
there are some people are caught up in the whole antics and all the other stuff off the field. How many you have personalities all over the NFL,
Right.
so that doesn't
Yeah.
bother me.
Right.
Going with the right team, learning the right way to be a pro, that stuff will take care of itself.
And that's important. That's what I was going to add on to what you were saying, is that whoever he does end up landing with, that coach, the coaching is so important, particularly for the young guys. The coaching is so important. So, and that can make you or break you when you're coming into the league, particularly a quarterback. If you don't have the right kind of coordinator, the right kind of head coach, the right kind of quarterback coach, teaching, helping him develop, helping him recognize, teaching him how to watch film, what to see pre-snap, how to make reads, all that kind of stuff. If you don't have a coach, the right coach with the right player, a guy will just fall off and never make it.
And he needs a good mentor. He needs a good guy that's secure, being the starter, and really mentoring him, taking him under his wing. I think that will pay huge dividends for him.
Now, when we first came into the league, that mentor aspect really did not exist. I don't know about you. I mean, for me, when I first came into the league, and I was kind of set up to fail.
But you're the first pick of the draft, so they see you as a threat. So,
well, yeah, and Stanley Morgan was there, but Ron Myers made it even worse. Ron Myers was the head coach at the time when I was drafted, and he and Stanley Morgan were having issues. So word was that he was trying to get rid of Stanley Morgan. So when I came in, he put me at the same position as Stanley.
There you go.
Yeah. So I became a threat to Stanley. Then Ron Myers, halfway through my rookie season, Ron Myers got fired and Raymond Barry came in. When Raymond got there, he put me on the other side of Stanley. But the damage was already done. Stanley still wouldn't talk to me, man. Stanley wouldn't talk to me. But as time went on and I played for years, got a few years under my belt, you yourself got a few years under our belt, we actually became mentors to those who came in after us. I didn't feel threatened when I got to Miami. OJ may have said it to you. I was a mentor to OJ. Because I wasn't threatened. I'm trying to win. What I know, I'm gonna teach him so he can come in and start and do what he needs to do and help the team win.
Yeah.
We all do. We all do good when one does good. My news of the week is this. It's when I look at the Green Bay Packers, particularly their defense, they look like they got a shot in the arm, man. They've got an energy and a brightness and a swag now that they did not have until Micah Parsons came in town. And Micah is doing his thing. He played 44 snaps the second game. He got 8 QB pressures and a half a sack in the win over Washington. And they look like a whole different team. Not just a whole different and better defense, but the defense with Micah on it has gone to another level, and because they've gone to another level, now the offense is going to another level. And they look, I know it's only 2 games into the season, but man, they look like probably they look like the best team in the NFC right now. They do. The way they're flying around the field, the way they're housing offenses on defense, man, and Micah's got a chip on his shoulder.
Oh,
He's playing.
He's going to play that way the whole year.
Yeah, and what's impressive to me is this, because I said this, I said this before the season actually started, when we talked about Michael Parsons, that Jerry Jones, all that stuff going on before he got traded, actually had been traded to Green Bay. I talked about how when a guy misses training camp, when a player misses training camp, then he comes in the first game of the season and tries to play, usually he ends up with some kind of injury. Some kind of soft tissue.
And we were
injury,
worried about that with him. We were worried about that.
Yes. But Green Bay, that first game, he played that first game, got a sack. First game. He had not even been.
He didn't play a lot. They played him a little bit more this game. So they're bringing him along.
They're bringing him along what seems to be the right way. Now, his words are, because he had a little bit of a problem with stiffness, tightness in his back, whatever the issue was with his back. But he's saying the more he plays, the looser it stays. So he's like, come on, y'all put me in the game. His words were, he can't keep dog out the game.
But see, you know as well as I do, different trainer, may have a different way of
Right.
preparing him, getting his back. So a lot of factors may have his pocket's a little heavier, so his back may go out again though. So, I don't know.
Depending on which pocket he got that money in.
But see, when you talk about him going there, one of the news of the week too with Dallas, they signed Jadeveon Clowney.
Clowney?
Yes. They went and signed him. This is
and how much money did they pay him?
$6 million a year, something like that.
Okay, so they weren't.
But just to even say I made a mistake, now you're going to go in and sign Clowney. This is his 17th since 2014.
Right.
Last year was with Carolina. He didn't give Carolina that much.
He didn't do anything with Carolina last year.
Yeah. But they signed him. And I'm just saying, like, you got to be kidding me. That's what you guys going to bring to the table? Because right now, they're not getting any pass rush. That's why teams are hosing them.
Right.
If you look at
they can't stop the run either. According to Jerry Jones, they couldn't stop the run with Michael Parsons. So now they really can't stop the run, and they still don't have a pass rush. Clowney's best days are behind him.
Right. And they went out.
He was the man 6 years ago, 5 years ago. Not anymore. He can't play the way he used to play. He's stealing money right now. We get older, we try to go from team to team and steal money as long as we can.
Hey, LeBron been doing it for years. Why not?
Yeah. And Clowney, he gets $6 million a year? Man, I wish I was still playing, boy. I'd go on the team and get $6 million. Man, what in the world? Listen, we got a few questions people want to add. I know we have an agenda we want to go on, but we want to make sure we interact with the people. So we got Billy Bell's in the house, Vincent Capriati's in the house, Richard Melton's in the house. Shout out to you. Eddie Casper is in the house. Hey, Eddie, you and Billy Bell, you got to let me know which game you want me to come over to. I'm just going to come over and hang out with you and do the pregame, what do you call those things in the parking lot? I'm
Tailgate.
Tailgate. Thank you. Yeah, my mind is.
Just want to go
come and do the tailgate with you. That's what I did with Billy Bell and Eddie Casper. So you guys got to let me know which game you want me to come over, come out and hang out with you. Now I'm going back home. I'm not going to the game. Dawn's in the house. Stu Winrow's in the house. Okay. Pastor, you remember Pastor Dickerson? He's Bishop Dickerson now.
Yes, sir.
He's watching right now.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
He said, "Good evening, Pastor Fry. Good evening, Bishop Dickerson." He said, "It's great seeing Michael Timpson. I haven't seen him in years." Well, there he is.
There he is. All right, Pastor. Good to see you. Good to see you, Pastor.
Yeah. So Vincent Capriati said this: when is AJ Brown going to start crying?
He ain't crying yet. I mean, we're two games in. He ain't crying yet. And that's a surprise because I thought after the first game he was gonna cry. They're winning, so once they lose and he's not getting the ball, then you're gonna get the wine towel.
Well,
they're winning.
He said he made a statement. He's not bringing any more books on the sidelines anymore because he's tired of giving people free advertisement. That was his quote.
Well, that's a him problem. He need to start charging. Don't be giving them free advertising.
Well,
better than that.
Well, speaking of, since we're there talking about him, speaking of AJ Brown, the first game against Dallas, the Dallas Cowboys did a good job of hemming him up, passing him off to corner, passing him off to a linebacker running the slants. Huh?
Stop. As bad as that secondary is, they ain't
No.
Just...
There was a video of every one of his routes in that game, and he was never open. Michael,
did you just see what the Giants just did to that same secondary?
I know. He was never open. They doubled him the whole game.
Okay.
They were passing him off. They were undercutting him. He was never open for the game. Now, in this game against Kansas City, I don't understand what the offensive philosophy is for the Eagles. The Eagles, they won the game. Yeah, they made a couple big plays. But, man, when it comes to offensive philosophy and, routes, the route trees and the route combinations, man, they're very, very vanilla. They're very, very vanilla. They're getting it done. They're 2-0. When you watch them, even the blitz routes, the big ball that Devontae Smith caught down the sidelines, that was a zero blitz for everybody who's watching, a zero blitz is when they bring everybody and all the wide receivers are one-on-one with corners. And they bring everybody else. And though they had the zero blitz before that, he threw the same thing, Hail Mary down the left side, and it didn't work the first time. Then the next time they did it, he threw it down the right side, and Devontae happened to catch it. But their answer to zero blitzes like that, and I'm going to ask you this question, their answer to zero blitzes, and this was a problem last year. The same thing was going on. They don't have blitz routes. They don't have sight adjusts.
They're all go routes?
They're all go routes. Jalen will hold on to the ball as long as he can and then throw it up and hope for a reception. 50. As you know, and I know, and we're going to let all of you know who are watching right now, you've got to have, when there's particularly zero blitzes, when they blitz everybody and all the receivers who are out there, whether it's 3 receivers or 4 receivers, and you're one-on-one with that defensive back, you have to be able to see. Everybody's got to be able to see the zero blitz. Quarterback, lineman, running backs, and wide receivers. And when it's a zero blitz like that, the inside receivers or the outside receivers, whoever they designate to be the sight adjust receiver, has to do his job and cut his route off, either cut across the middle or do a quick out, whatever it is that they tell you to do, that they assign you to do, and knowing that the middle of the field is wide open, usually it's a slant. You break your route off, run a quick slant, and the quarterback throws you the ball, and you beat the blitz. You don't hold the ball and hopefully throw it down the field. If you don't get hit, hold it as long as you can, and hopefully throw it down the field and hope for a Hail Mary catch. No, you have sight adjust routes built in where everybody's aware of what's going on. Everybody knows it's a zero blitz. You have to read it as a wide receiver. Yes, I do have a defensive back in front of me, but my eyes got to be over here too.
But maybe their sight adjust is not to do the typical slant, and we're going for the long ball. Maybe that's what their sight adjustment is.
But Mike, you can't do that. How many times is that going to work?
I know it's 50-50 ball. I get it.
What team? Saying, okay, how many years you play in the league, Mike?
9.
In your 9 years on the league, how many teams were you on where the sight adjust was a go for then just a Hail Mary? Throw it up. Well, everybody go.
The guy had to be playing inside, like hard to take away the slant, and then the quarterback would give you a signal, then you go over the top. You'd agree with that.
But it's a quick throw. It's not a Hail Mary throw.
No,
it's a quick throw because it's a zero blitz. So yeah, if matter of fact, the receiver will give the quarterback a hand signal, whether he's inside or outside, and then let the quarterback know this is what I'm doing. And whether it's a quick slant or it's a quick fade, it's never a long ball down the field.
Okay. Right.
And it's a sight adjust. You can see that they're making an adjustment to the blitz. That's something that the Eagles are winning right now, 2-0. We're happy, got them, yes, but they've got to be better against the blitz. And Spagnuolo blitzed them this week.
But let me ask you a question: if this formula is winning, and they're not turning Jalen Hurts is not turning the ball over, and they can run the ball, and because he's not throwing for a ton of yards, so this formula is working right now. Ground and pound. We're not giving up the ball. We're not making mistakes. We're not asking him to do too much. If that takes them all the way to the Super Bowl and they win.
Well, I mean, if they can win this way, God bless them. They're not running the ball. It's not that they're not running the ball well. You know, teams.
We're 2 weeks in. We're 2 weeks.
2 weeks in. Yeah. 2 weeks in. You know, teams are stacking the box, stopping the run. They're just not throwing the ball a whole lot. Right. And my other issue, or my other concern, I should say, is that, okay, can they run something other than a slant? All you see is slants.
Right.
You don't see any curls. You don't see any crossing routes. You saw that stuff last year. Right. You don't see square ends. You don't see deep overs. You don't see any of that. It's either a slant or they're throwing to go.
Maybe they're saving it.
They're not saving it. Come on. You know they're not saving it. Okay. So they're winning, yeah. I'm not belittling them. I'm not dogging them. I'm not trying to be Debbie Dowder or anything like that. But this is a professional team that's going to run, and they played 2 good teams so far, and they're going to play the Rams this coming week, and the Rams ain't playing. Them jokers is coming in here rolling. What's his name? Stafford, Matthew Stafford, Puka Nakua. Them cats, man, is rolling.
They got Devontae Adams now.
And Devontae Adams is on there too. So they can't mess around this week and sputter like they did against both teams. They've had two wins, but they haven't been wins like we saw the Eagles last year. Mind you, yes, the first 2 games of the season, they were like that last season, the first 3-4 games. It took them a minute to get going. So we'll see what happens. But they had that same issue even last year. And it wasn't 4 games into the season. It was midway and going into the latter part of the season. That's true. We talked and teams don't blitz the Eagles that much. Why? Because when you blitz, you got to play man-to-man. Right? And Jalen will kill you when you play man-to-man. You running down the field, and you got your back to the quarterback. He done ran 50 yards before you even know what's going on.
But that's why he's holding the ball to make those big plays, because they think they can. Well, so there you go.
When you look at the route combinations are very vanilla. As you know, and I know, you have to flood an area. That's the beauty of the West Coast offense. You have somebody running shallow. You have somebody else coming through that same area in the mid area. Then you have somebody running through that same area in the high area, and that floods the area and it creates holes in the zones because it makes the defensive backs, even though they're covering an area, it makes them. You got to make a choice. He's coming into your area. You got to go with him, and that's the beauty of the West Coast offense. I just don't see it.
It's early.
Yeah, it's 2 games into the season. Joseph Baker is in the house. Okay. Eddie Casper, South Philly, to Richard, Vincent, and Billy. All right. Listen, if you guys have a question for us, and we'll come back to you, throw up a Q and a semicolon, and then ask your question. That way, that will catch my eye, and I'll answer your question. I'll read your question, and Mike and I will do the best that we can to answer it. So, Mike, who's your top 3 wide receivers this week?
Okay.
Week
the
2.
diva of the week. The wide receivers of the week.
Diva.
We weren't divas like that. Or were we? You was more of a diva.
Wait, whoa. I was a diva? I was a knucklehead. I wasn't a diva.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was a knucklehead. I
maybe knucklehead diva?
I use the adjective knucklehead more so than diva.
All right. So my number 1 receiver, well, I'll go 3 and work my way up. My number 3 receiver this week is the receiver from the Giants, the receiver nobody heard of, Wan'Dale Robinson. All 5'8" of him. He had 8 catches for 142 yards. He's primarily a slot receiver.
Right.
And boy, he tore that slot up. He hit a couple of seam balls that Russell threw him, and he just came up big. Had 1 touchdown. His long reception was 50 yards. But here's the thing that was interesting as I looked up this guy. This guy last year, he had 93 receptions that nobody knew about.
Wow.
This guy had 93 receptions.
That's more than I ever caught in the season.
Yeah. This guy had 93 receptions. I'm saying, like, what? And for 699 yards last year and 3 touchdowns, because he was working primarily in the slot. And they had some quarterback issues. But the fact that he caught 93, he's on pace to catch that again.
Wow.
93 balls last year.
That's
crazy. He's my number 3. My number 2 is from Detroit Lions. I'm on Ron St. Brown. Simple fact, 3 touchdowns. I mean, 3 touchdowns, you're doing something. He had 9 receptions.
That was get back for him for his offensive coordinator for coming back. Well, actually, they were upset with him for going to a division rival.
So
they weren't upset with Coach Aaron
because he went over to the Jets.
Because he went to the Jets, yeah.
Yeah, but you're gonna go to the highest bidder. Stop. That's like one of them leaving and going to somebody.
Well, they had to use something as motivation.
Okay, whatever. That's my number 2. My number 1 is Malik Neighbors with the Giants. 9 receptions for 167 yards. He had a big day. I mean, he had a big day. Caught ball between 2 players. But here's the thing that was interesting. they played off of him big time. They were afraid to come up. I mean, they was off of him and just giving him anything, and he was taking it. He was taking it.
He was killing Diggs.
Oh yeah.
Diggs.
So that was my number one. So that's my 1, 2, and 3.
So my 3 and my 1 are the same as yours. I'm gonna get to my 2. But Wan'Dale Robinson, like you said, 8 receptions, 142 yards, 1 TD. It was 4th down in the 4th quarter. They were down by 4 with 2 minutes and 47 seconds left on the clock. Caught a 32-yard Come on. Like you said, nobody. I'm like, who is this cat? I mean, he was running. I mean, he was flying. He had speed, man. He was running by people, just killing them. 2 receivers.
Straight down the stream.
Yep. And the thing about the game was it was a great game to watch.
Yeah.
The Giants against the Cowboys in Dallas. I didn't give the Giants a chance at all before the game started. No,
not at all?
I didn't give them a chance because first of all, it was early in the season. Secondly, Dallas had just lost to the Eagles. They could have won that game had my boy caught the ball like he should have.
But wait a minute. You know why I gave him a chance? Because of Russell Wilson. Number 2, they would have won that game, but they had like 12, 13 penalties. For
that opening drive? That was ridiculous.
So they would have won the game, but go ahead.
Then I think the first quarter, first half, they had over 100 yards of penalties. And that defensive tackle, 55, man, that catch needed to be they needed his shoelaces tied together or something so he could fall down and hit his head on the ground, get out of the game. But anyway, I was very surprised. And Russell played like he was playing in the Super Bowl.
400 yards?
400 yards throwing the ball? I mean, just ridiculous, man. Yeah. The Giants also, when you look at that game, Mike, I think the Giants defensive coordinator lost that game for them. Why? Because when they had the lead and Dallas got the ball back with, I think it was less than a minute on the clock. It was like 30 seconds left on the clock when they got the ball. He played so far back.
That's true. He did. Yeah.
He played prevent defense and gave them an opportunity. I mean, it was 15, 20 yards before they even got to a defensive back. And they were throwing catch, and that got them close. And
that's when they kicked the field goal and went into.
And they got a great kicker. He's a great kicker. He don't miss. So I thought that just play aggressive. You were playing well and playing good enough to stop them. Okay, don't give up the big play, yes. But don't give up 15, 20 yards before anybody even touches them. And they played safe and they lost. That's right. They were playing not to lose, and they lost that game within that last minute of the game because it allowed Cowboys to come back and tie them. And then they, once it went to overtime, I knew the Giants, because they had shot the load.
I agree. I agree.
I knew once it went to overtime, they weren't going to win. So, yes, Wan'Dale Robinson is my dude. Jamar Chase is my number 2. And the reason Jamar Chase is my number 2 is because we know that Joe Burrow went down, right? Mm-hmm. It was in the second quarter that Joe Burrow went down. But Jamar Chase had 14 receptions for 165 yards and 1 touchdown. 128 of those 160 yards was with the second quarterback, Jake Browning. So he didn't miss a beat. He didn't slow down.
But I'm gonna tell you why I didn't select him, because obviously the numbers 14 catches is 14 catches. They're not throwing him the ball. His longest was 25. That was his longest reception was 25 yards. Last week, his longest reception was 20 yards. They're not giving. He's not getting a big play opportunity. They're not throwing him the ball down the field.
Right.
So that's why I didn't select him. Is he worthy of it? Yes, but I just didn't select him for that reason.
Right. Well, I did because you, as well as we both know, and other people know too, how important it is, how important the quarterback is, for the production of a wide receiver. If you don't have a good quarterback or a decent quarterback, or quarterback knows what they're doing, you get killed, for one. You get your head knocked off, and you won't be productive if you don't have a quarterback that knows what he's doing and can get you the ball. But
they played it safe with him, and that's why they was throwing him little dinky dunk pass, little outs and little hitches, because they were playing it safe with this new quarterback in there. So
well, Browning was a undrafted free agent that came into Cincinnati in 2019.
Okay. So
And he didn't even play. He didn't play it down till 2023. He was there from 2019 to 2023 and hadn't played it down. And he played because Burrow got hurt.
Just carrying.
So to come in, to me, to come in like that, not having played, he looked decent, but not having played, and for actually Jamar to help him stay on pace, get his catches, get his yards. I admire that when a guy is able to produce with a lesser quarterback, because you and I had to do that most of our careers. And then obviously number one is Neighbors. That last ball you talked about, where he caught the touchdown, well, he caught one over Diggs,
the one
in the end zone.
one?
Yeah, the one twisting one. Yeah, where he jumped up. It looked like it was overthrown at first.
Right. And
he jumped up and caught it over Diggs. Just dog Diggs. I don't know what's up with Diggs. He's not covering like he used to cover. And then the last touchdown that he caught, the defensive back, it was between two defensive backs. They were both there. He had his hand on his face. Did you see the slow motion?
Yes.
He has a shield on. Neighbors has a shield in his helmet, over his eyes. But the DB had his hand had his hand on the shield over his eyes, and he still caught the ball.
All the DB had to do was turn around.
Yeah.
All he had to do was, he never turned around and found the ball.
Never turned around. No, he had his hand on his his hand on his shield over his eyes, and he still caught the ball. I'm like, boy, that's a bad dude. I like the way they gave him room, because he can run, and he's like you, Mike. He don't look like he's running when he's running, but he's moving. He's got big hands and he's smooth, and he's going to be a problem. He's the rookie. He's the rookie sensation from last year. He set the record for rookie receptions last year.
Right.
Yeah, over 100 catches as a rookie with Daniel Jones.
I hope they can continue to get him involved, because he's a big part of the offense. I hope.
Oh man, they're going to have to. He is their offense. He is their offense. All right, so we already talked about the Eagles and the Chiefs. Listen, if you guys have a comment or question, I don't see any questions in the house as of yet. Eddie Casper, what was that, Knucklehead Divas? Okay, here's a question. Do the Eagles need to find a tight end that isn't made crystal? What are you talking about is crystal? Do the Eagles need to find a tight end that isn't made, I guess, out of crystal? Is that what you're talking about, Eddie Casper? Okay, here it is right underneath it. Do the Eagles need to find a tight end that isn't made of crystal?
What's wrong with your tight end? Is the tight end hurt?
Not that I know of. Calcaterra's in there, and who's the other one? I can't even. No, there's nothing wrong with the tight ends. Dallas Goedert. They both were in the game. They both played. Dallas Goedert and Calcaterra. They both were in the game. What happened?
They're not blocking enough for Casper. I don't know.
What happened, Mr. Casper? What happened? I didn't see any incidents or any mistakes. I don't even remember them calling. I remember watching and seeing Calcaterra and watching and seeing Goddard, but they weren't saying anything about them that was negative during the game.
Well, here's the thing.
Unless one of them's hurt and I don't know. Maybe Goddard's hurt and I don't know he's hurt.
Well, see, here's the thing. When we talked about the Philly and the Chiefs game, that was the one of the game of the week.
Right.
Philly won 20-17. When I look at the Chiefs, you had Mahomes leading the team in rushing. That's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
That's a major problem. Because I look at both of the backs, Pacheco and Hunt, they had 18 carries between both of them. Mm-hmm. And they didn't even, between both of them, they didn't even equal Mahomes' total.
No,
so they got to get their run game.
I think they have 55 yards or something like that between the two of them.
But they got to get their running game. I mean, Mahomes had 66, and those guys were below that. So
that's what I said. They have 55 total
with their run game. And secondly, with Philly, their secondary has some holes. And I think the right team is going to really expose those holes that's in the secondary.
Adoree Jackson is the hole. They got one hole. It's Adoree Jackson. he's a problem. He was a problem game one with Dallas. Dallas exposed him, and he was getting beat up pretty good. And he played a little bit better in the Chiefs game, but he's still a problem. Now, they brought a cat in named Bennett from the Raiders. And Bennett was a good DB. When you look at his numbers, man, he fared very well in comparison to DBs across the board in the league. But he's been there for a while and he hasn't played. Bennett is a better corner than Jackson, but they haven't put Bennett in the game. And that raises a question for me as to, okay, he can play, but why did the Raiders let him go? Is it because he couldn't pick up the plays? Because he's been, what is it? Oh, man, Smith, Zadarius Smith, is that his name? Mm-hmm. He just got to the Eagles, and he's balling. He's on the field, sacking and causing pressure, wreaking havoc. He got there a couple of weeks after Bennett, and he's on the field playing, making a difference. Yet Bennett is not in the game, and we know that Vic Fangio's not going to put him in the game unless he knows what he's doing. So I would, too, prefer to have someone who has lesser talent, who may not be able to play as well, but he knows what he's doing. Right. Have him on the field than somebody who has more talent and can play better, but he don't know what he's doing.
Well,
so yeah, there's a hole that needs to be filled, and teams are going to continue to pick on that side because Quinyon Mitchell doesn't get much attention over there because I mean he's the dude when it comes to DBs in the league. He's one of the top dudes. Their front did a great job, I thought, because when you looked at that game, I don't know if you saw the whole game or not, there were quite a few passes that Patrick Mahomes missed that he doesn't normally miss. He was overthrowing cats, man. And I'm talking wide open cats, blown coverages. There was a time 2 DBs ran into each other and he missed them. Guy was wide open. Thompson or Tom? Yeah, something like that, Thompson. And he missed him. But that's because they kept getting pressure on him. They were rattling him. They were shaking him up, and he wasn't used to it. And then the Eagles were blitzing. You know, they won the Super Bowl. They didn't blitz one time. They were throwing blitzes. They were. You're not gonna let you sit back there. Yeah, they changed it up on him this time, and I think I just think the Chiefs had their run, and they're just not going to do it again. That's all. They had their run. They're still a good team, but they're not that championship team that you have to worry about like before. And I think other teams that have to play against the Chiefs have that same attitude. Like they're no longer invincible like they used to be.
Right. Well, they got their 2 Super Bowl rings. Now it's time for somebody else. You know, so.
Yeah. But it was a good game. Right. I mean,
yes, sir.
Kind of boring, but good. Bears-Lions recap.
Okay. Now, I was surprised at this because
you were.
I was surprised that Chicago hatched the egg like this. I really was. I thought that because Ben Johnson was there in Detroit before, he knew what they were going to do. So he could come up with a good game plan. That ain't happened.
Yeah, but so Ben Johnson was the offensive coordinator. He wasn't the defensive coordinator.
But he's seen that team. He knows what the team does. If he's the offense coordinator in Detroit, he knows what to do and what not to do against Detroit's defense.
He knew what to do and what not to do against Aaron Glenn's defense.
Okay. So this is not the same defense.
No, it's not.
Well, I take that back. You know as well as I do, at least the first year, they don't do a wholesale change, particularly if it was working. And you look at that. So I'm sure somebody was coming up in the wings that they're doing a lot of the same things that they did last year because it was successful. So I'm not so sure that all of a sudden it changes, particularly with that head coach with that defensive mentality. I don't know if it changed totally. So that's why I gave him the edge that he would play better than what they did. And they just looked like crap. I mean, it was 28-14 at halftime.
Yeah, 52-21 when it finished
at the end of the game. Yeah, and I'm sitting like, what in the world? You know. So here's what I think the problem is with Chicago. Their safety had 7 solo tackles. I'm not done. Their linebacker had 6 solo tackles. Their corner had 5 solo tackles.
That's not good.
You know the lineman total, the highest total for the lineman was 3 solo tackles. So if that tells you all those other guys are tackling, that line ain't doing that line's not doing anything.
They tackling downfield.
There you go, brother.
They tackling
Yes,
downfield.
So they got some issues they need to work out. They spent so much time on the offense with Caleb Williams, which he's playing markedly better. He
Right.
is.
Right.
But now you got some ugly holes in the defense that they need to fix. So that was my take on that. I was kind of surprised, but
Well, and Caleb's still young. I think he's can be a really, really good quarterback. But when you have problems on defense, that causes problems for the offense because oftentimes you're playing from behind, and if you're trying to play catch up, that kind of throws out what your game plan is coming into the game. You put all those X's and O's on the board, and in your playbook, they look good on paper, but then when they start moving around on the field, it changes everything. Yeah. So, and then also,
nope, we can't do that.
You can't do that. Yep, you got to change that. The X's and O's that moved around. It also, I read today that not just the players, but the front office was upset with Ben Johnson, the Detroit Lions players. I read it. You can go back and check it out. Man. I read it. They had a problem with Ben Johnson, not Aaron Glenn, because Aaron Glenn didn't have a problem with him. God bless him. More power to him. He went to the Jets. But when Ben Johnson took the job with a division rival, they had issue with that. And they used that as motivation. Watch this. Gibbs and Montgomery. Watch this. They scored 52 points. Gibbs and Montgomery, the two-headed monster running back, they both scored. And that's the 10th time both of them scored a rushing TD in the same game, which tied an all-time record for a pair of running backs scoring rushing TDs in the same game. Amon-Ra St. Brown scored 3 times. I got 3 up there. 3 times, right? Okay. Jameson Williams, he had 100-plus yards on 2 catches. 2 catches. And then Jared Goff had as many touchdown passes, threw as many touchdown passes as he did incompletions. 5.
Wow.
And that was the 5th time in his career as a starting QB that his team scored at least 50 points. He tied Peyton Manning for the 3rd most 50-point games by a starting QB.
Okay.
And a couple of those other times, listen, the fans were chanting F Ben.
Oh, come on, man.
The fans were chanting that. They said they felt betrayed. So that was their motivation, man. That was the motivation. And
whatever makes their boat float.
Exactly. You know that. Whatever we can find, whether it's a clip in the newspaper, whether it's, somebody sign out in the stands, whether it's
do you blame him for where he went? Do you blame him?
I don't blame him.
That's his opportunity.
But I don't blame him.
As a player, would you blame him?
No, I wouldn't have blamed him. No. You got the offensive coordinator from Dallas 2 years ago came to the Eagles.
Right.
Now he's a head coach. So the Dallas Cowboys never said they were upset with him.
I think that was more the media than the
team.
It
was players. I read quotes from players. The players.
That's fake. That's fake news.
Fake news. Okay, Trump.
Fake news.
Fake news. Oh, Lord have mercy. What do we got next? Monday Night Football. That's tonight. Not till 10 o'clock. Who's winning right now? You still watching the game?
Yes. Tampa's up by 14-10, Tampa Bay.
Wow.
Guess who just scored? Mbuka. Yep. he just scored. Yes, sir. So 14-10. They're in Houston. Tampa's in Houston.
Oh, really?
Tampa's in Houston.
Yeah, they should beat them though.
Yeah. Houston.
They should beat them.
Houston had a little ride. It's just going to take them a little bit more maturity. They're missing some pieces. They made a little noise, but now it's come back to reality. Everybody got the book on Stroud, so now it's a little different. So Monday night,
some teams just ain't gonna have it. That's all. Monday night, yeah. Chargers at the Raiders.
That's the later game. That's at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock game tonight.
Yes,
10
sir.
o'clock.
Which we'll all be asleep.
Yep, I'll be asleep
right now.
I'll be getting up at 10 o'clock to go to the bathroom.
You check the score. Oh, what's the score? All right. So you're the LA Chargers. I like the Chargers. And I think part of me liking the Chargers is I like Harbaugh. I like because he's
Yeah.
corny. I
Yeah.
like that he gets his players to play for him. I like that it's not about him. It's he's dorky. Who's got it better than us? Nobody. And that thing caught on, and they kept riding it. He was doing that in college. I just like his energy, man. I mean, he reminds me a lot of Pete Carroll with Las Vegas. Just the energy that's infectious to the players, and the players love that because as well as I do, you want a coach that's genuine, not a coach like Parcells. You pass him in the hall, Bill Parcells, and he wouldn't even speak to you. I mean that's how he was.
Wow.
He had that. I mean, it was just like
like
hey,
Belichick. Belichick was probably the same way.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, hey, dude, I said good morning. It's just weird, but anyway, I like the Chargers. I like the fact that they have a great defense. They got 2 running backs that I like, the rookie Omarion Hampton and Najee Harris. If they can get them going, and tonight remember last year they had the NFL's top ranked defense last year. So I don't give Las Vegas a lot of chances here. I know they're playing in Las Vegas. I look for Herbert, Keenan Allen, and the receiver McConkey, Quentin Johnson. Yeah. I just expect them to have a big game because they showed us a little of that last week when they played, and so I just expect somewhat of the same thing.
Well, they're both 1-0, and I'm going to have to go for the same reason that you're talking about. I'm going to have to go to the Raiders. Because Pete Carroll, man, he has a way of he has a way of rallying his players. His players love him, man. Wherever he's coached, his players love that cat. He just looks like he's always having a great time. Yeah. He has a great philosophy. He did something at halftime, broke some kind of chalkboard or something like that the last game they were playing and got his team motivated to go out and win the game. That was against the Raiders. The Patriots.
New England. Yeah.
Game 1. So, not that the Raiders are anything to call home to mama about.
Right. We don't know yet. It's still early.
The Patriots. No. The Patriots are not going to be a good team this year. Drake May is. They're waiting for Drake May to show up and put some numbers up. I don't think it's going to happen. I just think everything is off up there in New England, from starting with the coach on down to the players. And I'm not
coach?
that.
You don't like Vrabel?
I don't think that. No, I don't. I think that whole situation. I just don't like the whole situation. I'm not impressed. I've never been impressed with Vrabel as a head coach. No.
Okay.
I don't think he'll ever get that ship. And don't get me wrong. They're obviously trying to shine over the shine of the former Patriots. They're trying to shine brighter than the shine of the Patriots in the past with Tom Brady and all the championships.
Well, he was there. So
yeah, I know he was. I know he was there. He has a DNA, but obviously it's not showing up. It must have been passed on to his sister. The DNA, he didn't get that DNA. He's adopted. He's adopted.
Still early, Irv. It's still early.
Yes,
I think he's a perfect fit. But go ahead.
Okay, well, we will see. We will see, but they do not impress me right now. And listen, I've been impressed with Geno Smith for the last couple of years. Okay. I really like the way he has come along, if I can say it that way. I wasn't impressed with him when he first came into the league, kind of sputtered around a little bit there. But man, the last few years, he's really been a solid, productive quarterback. Yeah. And, you partner him with, they got that new running back. What's his name?
Genty.
Ashton Genty. Yeah. They're just, I think they're being at home, got a chance to go 2-0. I think they're going to beat the Chargers. Okay. Justin Herbert's a good quarterback. He's got good targets. They got a good defense. Yes, they do. They played well against the Chiefs. They gave up some points, but also, like you said, Patrick Mahomes ran for a lot of yards in that game. They couldn't necessarily handle him scrambling the way they did. He was kind of a surprise to them, but for the most part, they corralled him. I think he scored 20 points on them. But man,
now the Chargers whooped them twice last year. Just FYI,
whooped the Raiders, and that's all the more reason I think Pete Carroll's going to use that as motivation, and I think Pete Carroll's going to get this team, rolling. I do.
So let me ask you a question.
Brock Bowen's a tight end, 103 yards against. Yes,
but I was going to ask you
103 yards against.
Tell me one wide receiver on the Raiders.
Oh, you don't have any good wide receivers, any name wide receivers.
I just want you to give me a name of one.
You don't have any name wide. I don't have a name for you because there are no name wide receivers. Okay. Which like you said, who was that cat that was on the Giants?
Yeah,
you don't know him, but he catching on Wandale Robinson, catching all them balls. No, the Raiders don't have any star wide receivers. They don't. Which, to me, is all the more reason Carroll's going to use his magic and get this team playing. They're 1-0.
You're going to make me stay up just to watch it.
Yeah, they're 1-0. They beat the Patriots. Matter of fact, they went to New England and beat the Patriots. That's across the country. That's impressive in and of itself. First game of the season. I don't know what kind of training camp they had and how Pete Carroll runs his training camp, but obviously he got them ready to play that first game of the season. I think that's important for anybody who comes out, particularly now. And obviously the Chargers did it as well, and they played a great team, or supposedly a great team, played against the best quarterback in the league. Anytime a team can come out and win the first game of the season in this era of time, in this dispensation of time in the NFL, when they don't practice and don't play in the preseason, I think that's a feather in their cap. It's a feather in their cap. But I like Pete Carroll, man. I just like the way he connects with his players. I like the way he gets his players motivated.
But guess what?
So I'm picking the Raiders.
I don't have to tell you this.
What?
He's 75. He ain't playing though.
That's all right.
He ain't out there on the field.
It's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
I just hope it's a good game. Hope it's a good game.
I think the Raiders are going to win. We'll find out. We'll know in the morning when we wake up.
I'm gonna get at least one quarter in.
I'm not getting at what 10 o'clock. Man, I'm gonna be asleep. You bump your head. We get off of here in a few minutes, and I'm gonna be in the bedroom. I already put my clothes out for tomorrow. I already ironed them and got them set out. Shoot.
All right. Okay. Well, we covered it all.
We got one more.
All right. Thursday night game. Miami at Buffalo. What's to say? Miami. This is gonna sink their ship. All the water finna come out the pool, and the Dolphins gonna go down the drain. This here might be ugly.
Here's what I predict. Okay. First of all, week one, the Bills, they were in a shootout with the Ravens. They beat them 41-40. Week two, Bills beat down the Jets 30-10. Just beat them. Dolphins, week one, they got beat down by the Colts 33-8. Week two, they got beat by the Patriots. Patriots are not that good. And they scored 33 points on the Patriots scored. So they're averaging giving up 33 points a game right now. 33 points a game. After this game, after the Bills beat the snot out of
please don't say they're going to fire him.
They're going to fire him. They're going to fire him. Mike McDaniel will be gone. Mike McDaniel will be gone. When they get beat, because the Bills going to beat, they're going to Buffalo too.
I know.
They're going to Buffalo. They're going to get beat down. Buffalo's going to score 50 points on them.
No. And you said the man going to get fired. Don't say that.
He's already holding on to his job by a thin thread.
Do you know it was 3-4 years ago? He was the talk of the town. I just don't know what happened. I was asking OJ what happened. It just
flash in the pants. You know, some of the young coaches come in, they got these new philosophies, and they come in, and it's new all across the league. So, you know, the kids buy into it, the players buy into it. He's new in terms of offensive philosophy and the way he calls plays. So defensive coordinators aren't quite up to par with what he's doing. It only takes a year or two before they catch up with him. It only takes a year or two. And if he doesn't change things up and stay on top of things and continue to be creative, they'll catch up with him.
But he's lost his team in going through this. He's lost his team somewhat. You know, that's the part that's just.
He got a bunch of. He got a few knuckleheads down there too.
Well, what team does it?
Well,
What team does
he got a few knuckleheads. Okay, a knucklehead in Chicago is different than a knucklehead in Miami. You take a knucklehead and put him in Chicago, he's not going to knuckle as much. You take a knucklehead and put him in Miami, he's going to knuckle all over the place.
Okay. All right. Good point.
He's going to knuckle all over the place.
I follow you. South Beach. I follow you.
You know exactly what I mean.
Okay.
That's right. Chip Kelly was the same way. Eddie Casper said. That's right. I was trying to think of that. Thanks, Eddie. And yes, Dallas Goedert does. You know, he is out with his knee injury, and I missed that. I'm sorry. Dallas Goedert was not playing. But yes, Chip Kelly was the same way. He came in, had this whole new philosophy, run and gun. They're gonna no huddle, all this stuff, running players into the ground. He was good for a year. He was good that first year. They were winning some games, man. Matter of fact, I think he got to the playoffs.
But what about the guy from the Rams, McVay? What's his name? The coach from the Rams.
Yeah,
Same
but
he ain't did that much.
No, he ain't did that much, but they're not getting spanked like some of these other cats where they just fall off by the wayside. Chip Kelly got ran out the league. He's no longer a head coach. McVay is continuing to evolve. He's still keeping up with what's going on.
Or is it ownership?
No, it's not ownership.
They don't make it. Depends on who's going to make a change.
Ownership's the one going to fire him. McDaniel's going to be done Monday morning or Tuesday morning news.
Come on, man. Don't put that out there.
No, this is Thursday night. Friday morning news. McDaniel is fired. Matter of fact, they might say it Thursday night after the game.
Oh my Lord!
You can't go to. They're gonna make him. He can't fly back with the team. You have to fly back on a different plane.
You're hard.
They're gonna get him a commercial flight. You can fly back somewhere. You ain't flying back with the team. You're fired.
I'm writing this down. 50 points.
Write it down.
McDaniel is gone. Wow. Okay.
He ain't gonna be able to fly back with the team.
Okay. All right.
They're gonna leave his behind in Buffalo.
All right, man. That's a wrap.
It's 8:03. Listen, let me shout out to everybody. Eddie Casper, shout out to you. Was it Todd Orsatti? Orsatti, I think that's how you say that.
Don't be jacking up people's name, man.
I'm sorry. It's Orsatti. Orsatti.
That may be his alias.
No, well, he's got it right there. He said, week 2, shaking my head. Good to see you, brother. Shout out to you. My mama is in the house. She's down in.
Hey, mama.
Yeah, she's she's in Texas right now. Billy Bell in the house. Michelle Denise Cephas is in the house. Richard Melton is in the house. Vincent Capriati is in the house. I'm sorry. Ed Crawley. What's going on, Mr. Crawley? Is in the house. Richard Melton. Shout out to you, brother. Joe Baker. Pastor Baker is in the house. Pastor Dickerson, Bishop Dickerson is in the house. Okay. Stuart Winrow. Dawn is in the house.
All right.
And that's it. I did say Billy Bell and I did say Vince Capriati.
Yes, sir.
Listen.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Say bye, Mike.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends about us. We'll be here same time, same channel next week. God willing, and the creek don't rise.
You sound like what's called neighbors, Jim Neighbors. Subscribe.
Hit the button. Hit the button, man. See you next time.
We out of here. Let me get the outro. There it is.
Hit the button. Hit the button.
Yeah, we out, y'all.
This has been Whiteout's World. Touchdown. The legends, Irving Fryar and Michael Timpson. Are you freaking kidding me? If it's football talk you're looking for, I think we've got you covered. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on YouTube at Whiteout's World. See you next time.
Let's go! Let's go! Go! Go!